Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel, and today's video is going to be on this DIY all the time LAUSD coffee cake. I don't know about you, but this was one of my favorite breakfast meals back in elementary. Let's begin. So the ingredients are 2.5 cups of flour, 1 cup of packed brown sugar, 1/2 cup plus 1 tablespoon of granulated sugar, 1 teaspoon of salt, and 1 teaspoon of nutmeg. Next, whisk all of those dry ingredients together until everything is well combined, making sure you try to remove as many of those brown sugar lumps as possible. Once all of your dry ingredients are well combined, add 3/4 cup of salad oil. Once you have added the salad oil to your dry ingredients, combine all of the ingredients together until you achieve a crumbly texture. Now once you have achieved that crumbly consistency, you want to set aside 1/2 cup of this packed mixture here. That will be separated into a separate bowl and work as the topping for our coffee cake. So you want to make sure you pack it real tight just because you want a good amount of it. And once you have separated it into a new bowl, add 1 teaspoon of cinnamon. Then you want to take a fork and mix it well until it's very well combined, and removing as many of those lumps as possible too. Now once all of those ingredients are well combined, just go ahead and set that aside, and we're going to return back to the first bowl that we were working on. Now returning to our first set of dry ingredients, we are going to turn this into our coffee cake batter. You want to add 1 teaspoon of baking soda, 1 teaspoon of baking powder, 1 large egg, and 1 cup of buttermilk. Now go ahead and mix your dry ingredients and your wet ingredients until you have that cake-like batter consistency. Interesting fact that you actually might have noticed, there is no coffee in coffee cake. Apparently it just complements coffee really nicely, and that's where the name came from. I myself growing up always thought there was coffee in coffee cake, but who would have thought? Alright, here I'm pretty much happy with the batter. I know there are lumps in it, it's just from the crumbliness of the dry ingredients before, so it's not the worst thing in the world, so I'm going to go ahead and move forward. Next, you want to grease your cake pan. This recipe is enough to yield 2 from this size cake pan. What I like to do to grease mine is kind of use the old-fashioned way with just using some butter and some flour, but if you want to go ahead and use some Pam, by all means that works too, of course. And as I mentioned before, this recipe does yield 2 from this size cake pan, so I'm only pouring half the batter in this cake pan and half the batter in a separate cake pan. Now you don't want to forget the delicious, yummy, crumbly topping, so I make sure I fill every nook and cranny with this topping here just because I find it absolutely delicious. So I do go in with a heavy hand. And once you are happy with your toppings, bake your coffee cake at 350 degrees for 25 to 30 minutes. And here you have it, your delicious, scrumptious LAUSD coffee cake. Oh my gosh, did it take me back. Alright, well, thank you for watching, everybody, and please subscribe.